Hey, thank you for joining us on a special Collierville High School podcast featuring the National Honor Society application process for spring 2024. I'm Jessica Roberts, and I am joined by...
I'm Mrs. Bowman. I'm one of the sponsors for the National Honor Society.
Well, thanks for being here. Now, I know you're real excited to talk about the National Honor Society application. We have some info to go through. So tell me, what is National Honor Society?
So National Honor Society is the nation's premier organization established to recognize outstanding high school students. More than just an honor roll, NHS serves to honor those students who have demonstrated excellence in the areas of character, leadership, and scholarship and service.
Well, great. So Collierville High School students are going to start applying here that meet the requirements. Tell me when the application process opens.
So this year we thought we would have the application open a little bit longer. So we're going to start December 18th, and it'll be open all the way through the Christmas break. And we will have about 2 weeks when we come back to still be able to have that done until January 21st.
Great. Tell me, who at Collierville High School can apply?
So anyone that's not previously inducted to NHS can apply, so 10th through 12th graders. And even if they've applied before and been rejected, they can apply again. And that's especially seniors who had applied in the fall.
Okay. So I know National Honor Society has a very extensive application process and requirements, to be considered to join. So talk to me about what grade and scholarship requirements do the students need?
So the GPA is rather high. It's a 95.0 higher GPA. That is standard with across our region. And if you're unsure about your GPA and you think it's close, we suggest you go ahead and apply because it can be verified with the guidance counselors, and you can also do that as well during the selection process.
Okay. So it's not only just grades, it comes down to character and reputation of the student as well. So talk to me about what you're looking for in regards to that.
So we do evaluate the students' discipline records, and also we have our teachers do evaluations of our students during the process. So you may not have an ISS or OSS within the current or the previous school year. So it needs to be at least 1 year removed. Your administrator will have that final determination based on the type of discipline violation it is.
Okay. So leadership also, I'm assuming, is a big part of it. Talk to me about what you're looking for in leadership qualities of the students.
So leadership positions could be inside the school or outside the school. So for example, a club or organization that you've been here, something like an officer, president, vice president, secretary. It could be event or committee chairs. It just needs to be a role where you've delegated to other participants. Captain or vice captain of your sports team, or even section lead of the choir or the band. Those are just some of the examples, and you can always verify or check with me to see if there's something that we just didn't think of that you might have been involved in.
Yeah. So not only leadership, but being involved in school activities seems like it's another big one. Talk to me about what you're looking for with that.
Right. So these are co-curriculars, clubs, sports, other activities inside the school setting. But we also are looking at stuff outside the school setting as well. So we try to keep those in a separate category because some people have more things outside than they do inside. So stuff like non-school related jobs or sports, scouts, other clubs and organizations, or even religious type activities, they may be also considered outside the school.
What about community service?
Right. So these would be volunteer type opportunities directly related to our community. It really shouldn't be a paid position, something where they have service to others in the community.
Yeah. So obviously you want to give them a spot where they're listing out awards, honors, special recognitions. Talk to me about what you're looking for in that category.
So this, of course, is optional, but we like to give the students a chance to brag about their accomplishments. So it's where they can maybe think they might stand out. So they can do that in that area as well. But again, it's optional. It's not something they are required to do.
And then it says here you may include a short paragraph that maybe talks about yourself that for the application process. Tell me about that little small paragraph.
Yeah, so our students like to send in an essay discussing things. So we wanted to give them a place to do that. And so it's more of like a summary of their application. And this way they can like really point out the things they think make them stand out. It's optional. They don't have to do that, but it is a place where the council that is doing the application review can get an idea and maybe wants to look at something specific.
Yeah, it gives them a little edge there with a little paragraph. Okay, so with applications, there's always some, fine print and things to look out for that we need to follow proper formatting and all that sort of stuff. Talk to me about what's a little bit different about this NHS application.
So to make it a little bit easier for our council to go through the applications, we wanted it to be streamlined so all the applications look similar. So we have a template that has bulleted for each of these different submissions. So we want to make sure we have maybe a title for the club or organization that you're involved in. Below that, you can write a paragraph or small statements about what you actually did. And the more you include to describe what you did is better. But making sure we have that bulleted points really helps us streamline it and read it a little bit easier when they're going through it. And also, you don't want to include your name anywhere in the paragraph or body of the submission because these are blind submissions for the applications. So your name is not on there. They're anonymous. And we want to be able to just look at what you've submitted, not bias the council in any way.
Yeah, that's a great way to make sure it's merit-based as well.
Yes.
I like that process. So kind of give me a timeline for what the vetting process application looks like.
Okay, so once all the applications are submitted, the first thing we do is check the GPA, and we will put out a teacher evaluation document that they can give their opinion about the students. And then we will also be checking the discipline records at that time. So once all of that is done, that information is given to the council. And the council is a council of master teachers at our school, and they will vote on the records of the students. So they actually will go through each application, read them, point out things. And so having that, again, streamlined and easy to read is much quicker for them to be able to figure out the merit of the application. And so once that's done, they'll come to a final vote. And it usually takes about 2 weeks for all this to come together.
Okay, great. Talk to me about how I know if I am admitted into NHS.
So after the council votes, it's a fairly quick turnaround that we get our acceptance or denial letters. And in that letter, you'll have all the information that you need about the induction ceremony, the fees, and what all of that entails. And so we usually try to get those letters out about 2 weeks before induction so they have time to plan if they want to be there. They don't have to be there, but it is a nice ceremony, and we get to honor those kids for their really big accomplishments to getting into the National Honor Society. Yeah.
And then if I am selected into the National Honor Society, talk to me about what fees and the induction process is like.
So there's a $21 membership fee, and that is due by induction, and that's the national fees that we have to pay for. It also covers some of the other things like, I believe, the stoles and stuff like that. But we do have other council members that are in charge of that, so don't quote me.
And then if I need more information about the application,
okay,
tell me where to find that.
Yeah, so on the Collierville High School website under academics, there is a link to academic clubs and honor societies. And so if you click on that, that is where you can go to apply. We will send out through Student Square the application link, but it will be there as well. And there's also a video detailing all the things that we talked about today and the template. And the template is also there so that you have everything you need to apply.
So I've read, the application process. I've watched the video. I've listened to the podcast. I still have questions. What can I do?
Right. You can email me, cbowman@colliervilleschools.org. Anytime. I will answer those emails as best I can, and especially if you have any questions about what you've submitted or if you have something you're questioning about